Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the DJI Mini 2 SE with me today, or as I call it, the DeMarco Mini 2 SE, named after my friend DeMarco. So what I want to show you today is some of the automated features of the DJI Mini 2 SE, specifically the QuickShot features. I figure a lot of people that buy this drone are going to be new to drones, and they're going to see that on the menu and they're going to wonder, okay, what is that and how does all that work? I'm going to show you right now. We're going to go through all the quick shots, and I might miss myself a note here so I don't forget any of them. We got Droney, Rocket, Circle, Helix, and Boomerang, and we're going to show you all of them right now. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this little bird in the air. Okay, one of the things that I always do before I take off with any drone is go through the safety menu. You can see at the top we've got 22 satellites, so we're good to go there. And I will have already shown you UAV forecast, so it's a pleasant day, not a lot of wind. And I always take a screenshot of the Before You Fly app, so you can see right where I'm at, right where I took off from, and it is a safe to fly zone. So let's go ahead and click on those three dots in the top right. Look at our safety menu. We've got return to home, the most important one, return to home set at 35 meters. In other words, it's going to come back at 35 meters high if it goes into RTH. I've got the max altitude set at the max legal, which is 120 meters. Compass is normal, IMU is normal, battery info, we'll take a look at that, and we're good to go there. So we're in good shape. No reason not to take off. We're going to shoot and start some video here, and we're going to shoot in 2.7K 30 frames per second, which is the maximum for this little drone. Let's go ahead and start recording now. And yeah, let's go ahead and take off. It's telling us takeoff permitted at the top there. So let's go ahead and hit takeoff on the app, automated takeoff. Maybe. There we go. Hold that button down. And there's the little drone.
Takeoff.
And you'll see it record its home point once it takes off.
Please check it on the map.
Yep, home point updated. And it tells you what the return to home height is set at. So first thing that I always like to do is do a droney. So no reason not to do that right now. Let's. I'm going to drop that camera down a little bit, and I'm going to do a manual droney. And to do that, I am going to push the left stick up and the right stick down, reverse and up now. And there we go. We are slowly pulling away from us. So what we're going to show you in QuickShots is an automated way to do that. So you can see where we're at here. I'm at Heroes Park. If I didn't mention that before, pick that camera up a little bit, just kind of show you around a little bit. This is the park. This is a great place to fly. And when you're doing these quick shots, you're going to want to be in an open area like this, because this drone has absolutely no obstacle avoidance. Let's bring it down, bring it back to us. There is no obstacle avoidance on this drone. So if you are doing those automated quick shots, the drone doesn't know that there's a tree there. It will simply run right into that tree. So there we are right there. Let's bring it on down and bring it back to us. There's that little drone scooting right by. It is fun to see it. I watched it scoot by me there up in the air. So let's bring it on in here, and we'll start some of the quick shots. So bringing it in. So in fact, I can get a little closer than that. Let's get a little closer. The drone, well, I didn't want to be that close. Let's back it up a little bit. The drone needs to be at least 2 meters high. So we're at 1.7 meters high. So I'm going to show you that you cannot do a quick shot unless you're 2 meters high. So we need to stop recording to get into that QuickShots menu. Stopping recording now. And then I'm going to click on that little film strip on the left-hand side. And that's going to bring up a menu, photos, quick shots, and panos there. We're going to click on quick shots, and that brings up our quick shots. So what I just realized is I didn't have my action camera started, so the first part of this video, you didn't see anything off the action camera, but we're good to go because we've got the video from the drone and screen recording, so we'll have to make do with that. But one of the things I want to point out to you, and yeah, I'm above 2.3 meters high, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I want to show you below that it will not engage a quick shot. So I'm going to click on that little plus sign and grab myself, and we've got it set on droney and 30 meters. Let's click start, and it shouldn't do anything. So let's click start, and it's counting down. And you know what? It's doing it anyway. So DJI said that you had to be 2 meters high to do quick shots, and we just proved that wrong. I'd never tried it that low before, but that's a droney, and it's going to return to its starting point right now, and we're gonna try that again, and I'm going to show you the details of the droney. Kind of interesting that we saw something different than what DJI said it would do. So maybe we'll try another experiment here, and we'll drop it even lower yet. Let's go down a meter high. I don't want to go so low that it wants to go into landing mode, so we're pretty low. I'm afraid if I go any lower, it's going to go into landing mode. So anyway, I'm going to click that on myself again, and let's click start again. And you know, we might as well show you all the details here on the droney. So you can adjust the distance down here from 30 meters. If you see that dialog box right below where I'm standing, I click on that and it gives me a scroll wheel. I can run it up. Heck, I can go all the way out 120 meters. In fact, let's do that now. It's going to be a little bit boring, but we'll call it 120 meters. And let's click start. And it's giving us a countdown. We're 1.5 meters high. It's not supposed to work below 2 meters, and it is. We're seeing it right now. So the drone is rising and moving away from us. So I don't know if that might have been something that changed since they wrote the manual. You know, honestly, I saw that you have to be at least 2 meters high. I saw that in the manual, so that's why I brought it up. I don't think I've ever tried to start any of these automated flight modes when I was below 2 meters high. I'm not sure why you would. You can see we're still going out there a ways. This thing's really going to go. We're only 80% through. This is a long droney. So it's kind of cool to know that you can adjust them however you want. Now, why would you use that automated droney? Let's say you're an experienced flyer. You know how to do a droney, manual droney by yourself. But what if you want to be in the picture with your family or even just by yourself? You could set the controller down, set that to automate it, and the drone is going to do that for you. And the other cool thing is it's automatically going to return as you see it right now, and it's coming back at 6 meters per second, so it's doing pretty good. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to tap on that droney arrow right above the start button there. Tap on that, and that takes us back into that menu, the quick shot menu. Next one, we're going to go right down the list. We're going to click on rocket. And so we've got rocket set there. I'm going to tap on my plus sign, and that makes me the point of interest. You can draw a box and make the point of interest, but again, you can set the altitude wherever you want. I'll show you here. We are not going to go up to 80 meters high because that, I found with a rocket, that's, in fact, we're just going to do the minimum, the 30 meters, and you'll see why as we go here. So I'm going to click start now, and it's going to give us the countdown. And by the way, it automatically starts recording when it does this, and it's doing it in 1080p. I believe you can change that. In fact, on the next one we do, we'll change that. We'll see if we can get that full 2.7K. I don't remember if I've ever tried that before or not. But you see how it keeps the, it kept us right in the center of frame as the drone moved straight up and kept us right in the center of frame. So you get that top-down video, and now it stopped recording and it's returning. And there it'll return. And you can set that height again up to 80 meters. And when I was wondering if it would pick up the camera, and it is. Yeah, it's slowly picking up that camera, so it'll look at us again once it gets back to its spot. Yeah, there we are. So let's click on the next one here, which is circle. and I'm going to click the plus sign on myself, and we're going to click, well, it's already on clockwise, so we're going to leave it on clockwise. One of the things I want to try and do though is change the resolution. Yeah, we're going to click on 2.7K. So we did. So we successfully did that, 2.7K 30. So this one will be higher resolution. And again, this circle, I'm going to warn you, you want to know what's around you because the drone is flying sideways. If there's a tree there, a person there, a building there, it will fly right into it. We're at a very low altitude here, so let's see what happens. Let's click start. 3, 2, 1, and it should do a clockwise orbit around us, and it should increase in speed as it goes, and it is. It's perfect. And again, you can adjust the radius by just simply starting it further out, right? The thing that, and it's kind of moving closer here. This is kind of interesting. So the circle is a little bit oblong there, as you can see, but it's keeping us pretty much in. Well, it moved off us a little bit, so it kind of got off there a little bit, but pretty darn close. And then it stopped. So it didn't stop exactly where we started at. So let's bring it back there, and I'm going to show you. Let's go further away and up, and it may be give it a little bit more of a dramatic effect. And again, I want to warn you that you're going to want. Let's go counterclockwise this time. You're going to want to make sure that there is nothing that your drone is going to run into. There is no obstacle avoidance on this drone. Let's click start, and it will go counterclockwise and just will do a perfect orbit around us. That was interesting. I don't know that I've ever done an orbit that low before, what I just did, and it was definitely moving in on me there a little bit. So it wasn't, that one wasn't a perfect circle, but this one appears to be. And yeah, it's moving right around and should end up in the spot where it started. And yeah, it moved a little bit further than where we started, but it's over. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to us here a little bit. Bring it in just a tad. And let's see, what's our next one? Our next one is one of my favorites. And you know what? That's one that I think we want to be a little bit lower and closer on. This next one, so I'm going to click on that circle again, and it's going to take us into that menu. Scroll up and see Helix there. Helix is such a cool, it is a really cool one. I'm going to click on the plus sign, and it picks me. And you can click clockwise and counterclockwise. We're going to leave it on clockwise, and we're going to click start. And this one is really cool. This one is really hard to duplicate manually. The drone is going to essentially do a corkscrew around us. It's going to orbit us, it's going to raise in altitude, and it's going to move away in distance all at the same time, essentially doing a big corkscrew. It's a really cool effect, and you know, trying to do that manually is not an easy thing. So yeah, it's a really fun one to do. And now it'll return back to its, it returns back to where its starting point. You could cancel that by clicking on that red X and just fly it back manually if you wanted to. But you see, as soon as we get the green button there again, we know it's back in its starting spot. So the next one is horseshoe. Or excuse me, boomerang. So boomerang is an interesting one. It's going to do an oblong around us. It's going to start at its current height, and it's going to raise in altitude. And basically, again, it's going to do kind of a football shape around us. And I'm pulling out my notes. So what DJI is saying, that it will raise up a full 10 meters in altitude from where it's at right now, and you need about a 30-meter radius around you for it to successfully do it without running into anything. So let's go ahead and click on Boomerang, and we're going to click on that plus sign, and that'll get a box around me. And again, you can pick clockwise or counterclockwise. Let's do counterclockwise on this one. Let's click that start menu, or start button, and it'll count down just like it's done on the rest of them, and you'll see what it does here. It'll start at, and it'll raise an altitude as it moves around us and just do a big oblong. And that's why they call that a boomerang. Another neat effect, it's something that you could probably do manually, and I like the way it increases in speed as it goes. And now it's dropping down and it's coming back to its spot. And boom, there it is. There we got it. Okay, so I am going to go back in there again, and let's go back to a droney, and I want to show you something with the droney. Let's click on me, and the drone should adjust. And let's click that distance up to, I don't know, we got 80 meters there. We're going to call that good. And what I want to show you is how you can take over and fly the drone yourself at any time. So let's hit that start button, and it's counting down, and it's taken off, starting its droney, and you go, oh damn it, there's a tree back there or something like that. Just hit that red X that's there on the right hand side of the screen. That'll stop it dead in its tracks. You know, if you make a mistake and you're afraid the drone is going to move into something, and boy, I brought it a little closer than I wanted to there. I had to hit the brakes there pretty hard. Okay, let's try that again, and I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to leave it on that, well, let's make it a lot shorter. Let's go down to 40 meters, and let's hit that start button, and it's going to start its droney. And so it's doing the droney and doing what we want it to do. I should have just picked a 30 meter. This is going to go longer than I wanted. Yeah, we're almost there. 75% there. Okay, there we are, and it's completed, and it says returning there. So let's just say that you're out there and there's something you want to look at. Just click that red X, and it'll stop. And it won't. You can fly it back manually or do it whatever you want. So now you want to go back into, let's say you did that, you've done all your dronies, everything you wanted to do. You want to go back into video mode. You click on that little droney icon again. Takes you back into that menu. You could go down and do a pano or take a photograph, but let's click on video again. We're going to start video, and yeah, let's. Like I said, we were out someplace that we wanted to be, so let's just fly the drone around a little bit. So all those, you can cancel all of those automated features at any time. And in fact, the pause button always works too. Let's while we're here, I'm going to go down next to the flag here, and let's see if we can do a manual orbit around the flag. So this is going to be just me. We're going to get this guy on the flag. I'm going to put it into cine mode to make it slow things down. And I'm going to see if I can do an orbit around the flagpole here. Yeah. That's working pretty good. There's Old Glory right there. Manual orbits are pretty good, pretty easy to do. You just simply hold those sticks directly apart or directly together, and you will get an orbit. So yeah, let's pick up the camera here, and there's something that I want to look at, and we're down to 28% battery, so the drone will probably go into return to home on us. Let's click it up into sport mode. This is little bonus content, guys. This is beyond, if all you wanted to see was that tutorial, we are past that now. We're just flying for fun right now. I'm going to go across the street. What I noticed here earlier, and it kicked that gimbal down because we're in sport mode, because it's really pushing the, it's really tilting forward. The street here, they had a closed sign on it earlier. I just wanted to see what the heck they're up to. We can kind of get over. Yeah, it's blocked off right there, isn't it? So I wonder what it is that they're doing. Why did they have that blocked off? Let's, Yeah, and it's going into low battery return to home, so we're just going to let it do that. We might as well try that. So that's where that street is blocked. I just wanted to see that. And yeah, you guys got to see it too. So the drone's going to come straight on back to us now. And I just finished putting together a return to home video tutorial on this drone. I will link it in the comments down below. Yeah, so you can see the drone coming back. Comes back at about 10.5 meters per second, so it doesn't mess around. And I just put it into, yeah, when I put it into normal mode, it kicked it out of return to home. So I kicked it back in. So that's kind of interesting. That is something that I had never noticed before. As soon as I put that switch from sport to normal, it kicked it out of return to home. So I think just pretty much you touch anything and it's going to kick it out of RTH. We want it there anyway. We're down to 16% battery. We're in good shape. We can click on that battery button and we can tell how long until forced landing, that it's in auto return to home, how long until the battery is fully depleted. Let's go ahead and see how close of a landing we get here. We're at 40 meters high, so this is an amazing little drone, and $339. I still just can't get over what a great value this is. That was the gimbal kicking around when it was pointed straight down as it came to a stop, and yeah, it's a little bit off there. We'll see how close it gets here. I'll probably cancel it. I'll probably hit pause if it gets too low. And to hit pause, that's just that pause button to the left of the speed button on your controller. So yeah, it is not going to quite hit the landing pad. And I like the way it comes down nice and slow here. And it's kind of pausing, picking up the camera. I'm going to hit pause, and it's really squawking at me here. It wants to land. And let's get it over the pad here a little bit. I think that's pretty close. My depth perception isn't all that great, but it looks pretty good to me. Straight down. And there we go. Yeah, we're on the pad. And let's stop recording. Critically low battery. Gonna hit that stop recording now. And let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, I just noticed before I shut everything down here, it's asking for some new firmware. So evidently there's been a firmware update. So I'll try that again at another time, and we'll probably do a video on the firmware update. Hey, okay, the little DJI Mini 2 SE, or the DeMarco Mini 2 SE in my case, just an amazing little drone for $339. We went through all those quick shots, showed you just how to engage them and just how they worked. The one surprise we got was that DJI says that it won't engage below 2 meters. We proved that it does. We had it about 1.5 meters off the ground, and the quick shot still worked. So when you see that in the manual, forget it. It doesn't mean anything. But we did show you the features, and they are really cool. One of my favorites is the Helix. That Helix is there's just so many places that you can use that and get some really dramatic footage. Again, I warned you a little bit about there's no obstacle avoidance. Watch out for things around you. When you're doing these quick shots, make sure you have an open area and you know where the drone is going to go. Don't panic if you see the drone heading to something. Just hit that red X on the right-hand side of the screen and the drone will stop and go into a hover. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, of course, we will see you on the next one. I also have a return to home video on this drone. I will link it in the description below. See you guys later. Bye now.